With me shooting in the gym. You weren't with me shooting in the gym.
What's going on, folks?
Yes.
Welcome back. To the podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Ryan.
It's Brahein.
And on today's episode, you want to do something a little bit different, didn't you?
Yeah, just today we talking about just anything. Just anything. What anybody want to talk about? Call in, type it up. Instagram, I can't really see. So for Instagram calls, you gotta call in. Well, for Instagram viewers, they gotta call in if they want to ask a question. For Facebook, we can see your question, or you could call in. We talking about
that phone number is 267 797
68. That's a decent number. I'm lying.
I picked it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so just call in about whatever. Well, let's start with you. What would you want to talk about right now? For somebody
I mean, I could talk about multiple things. Let's talk about mental health.
Okay.
That's never a topic that I ever talked about, but what you think about mental health? I seen Meek Mills with an interview with Charlamagne. Charlamagne always talk about mental health in the black community, definitely. So what you feel about mental health? Just in general, just what you feel about it.
One thing I feel about mental health, I feel that there was a negative stigma towards it. And I think with people like Charlamagne speaking out on it, it brings it more into light, because some people are just like, feel like they're embarrassed by it, and they feel like they shouldn't talk about it with somebody, and they don't talk about it with somebody. The next thing you know, they're out there doing something crazy, committing suicide or a mass shooting or something like that. So mental health is very important, because that's you. That's your everyday health. Like, it ain't just your heart, your liver or something like that. It's just your actions. Like, healthy actions start with a healthy mind, and there's nothing you can't talk about with somebody. No matter how embarrassing you think it is, there's somebody who went through it too, and someone who can help you out with that. So you can never keep anything that's bothering you to yourself. Exercise, meditate. Those things, I feel they help you with your mental health some. But the same thing you said, I never really even thought about mental health before until, like I said, I've been watching The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne speaks on it regularly, and it was just always something that, especially us men, we neglect our health altogether, especially the black community. So a woman will get a cut on their leg, they go to the hospital, as they should. A man, your arm could be broken. Like, man, I'll be all right, man. I just gotta rest. No, you can't rest. You gotta take care of it.
Put that Robitussin on it, man. Yeah. That's what Chris Rock said. Yeah, he said, let that tussin sit in there.
You can't do that.
Yeah, no, that's facts. You can't.
When something's bothering you, and this is mostly to the black men, if anything is bothering you, because you don't feel like it's like a macho thing. Like, oh man, bro, I can't tell you about my feelings, man. I'm feeling down about something. And then you keep on feeling down. Next thing you know, you do something crazy. But to the black man in the community, you definitely gotta take care of your mental health.
So who you talk to, like because that was always my thing. Like, I always just thought, like, how you said it though. I mean, you said like meditate, but like some of the things that I always like thought about was just the simple things. Like, I know, like, if you want a better heart, they say eat better, work out, don't smoke. If you want to look a certain way, do the same thing. But for your brain, like for your thought process, like, what do you do? and supposed to meditate. That's what people tell you. But the thing about it is, like, I think a lot of things that happen in our lives, in the black community especially, we take it as normal. I feel like that it's normal.
I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
Hello?
You online. You on live, I mean.
Hello, how are you?
We're doing well. How are you?
All right.
I'm great. I'm Evangelina.
Say that again?
I'm Evangelina.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'm Evangelina.
Okay.
Oh, how you doing today?
Okay, listen. Oh, wonderful. I'm calling today because I have, as far as suicide, I think everybody should always not judge people because people don't do nothing but judge people. When people are down and out, people go into a dark place and you never know they're in a dark place. My son was 27 when he killed himself because he thought he was on the top of the world. He would talk about what was going on with him. He would not, because he was a guy who felt like, and I raised my son to be strong. And, don't talk about what you're feeling and everything. Always come to your mom and say whatever's going on in your mind. But sometimes people just have to learn how to listen and not judge. When my son came to me and talked to me about he was in this dark place, but he said it was about a girl. So I said to him, I said, listen, there's so many women in this world, you have to be stuck on one girl. And now here I sit 2 years later and my son is dead because he killed himself at work. He's dead because, it was just too much for him. He left a message, like a videotape saying how he was in a dark place, he couldn't breathe, he couldn't eat, he couldn't sleep. He just said so many different things. I won't get into everything about, what he said. But sometimes we as people, we judge so quickly instead of just listening to people because you never know what people's next step is when they're in so much pain. It could be a breakup, it could be somebody not speaking to their mother, it could be just anything. People really need to listen. And now listen to the thing that you said something about when they get sick, they usually run. When they get sick, they try to fix themselves up or whatever. But it's so true. But we as women and men need to go check on our health and everything. And I just called in about, the suicide because it is really, really a lot of our people.
Yes, quick question.
A lot of families and everything. And I just feel like people should just learn how to listen and stop pushing people off and stop judging people because you actually don't know what's wrong in people's lives.
Yes. When he said he was in a dark place, how did it make you feel when you first said that? Hello?
Can you hear me? You hear us? You hear us?
I wanted to ask her. I would love if she called back. How she felt when he first said he was in a dark place, because I think that's like the turning point right there. Because for somebody to tell you their feelings,
right?
I think I don't know this, but this is my thought process. I think once they open up to anybody, somebody, that right there is, I think that's a big key. That's why you have to go to therapy and talk to people, because you got to let it all out. And I think how we as a community, we need to build up being able to talk about your feelings, because
I hope
nobody.
Well, that is definitely true, because I mean that was crazy. Like, I mean, for us to talk about that, and she called right in and said that. She said, "Yes, I'm glad that she."
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, you can hear us now?
Did you guys hear me?
Yes, we heard everything that you said.
We heard you. We're not sure. Can you hear us?
I can hear you now. I didn't hear you before.
All right. That's
Okay. So the question was, how did you feel when he was saying that he was in a dark place?
Like, what was your first reaction to hearing that?
The first thing he said was that he was going through it with his girlfriend.
Right.
So me being a parent that I am, what I said to him was, You can get another girlfriend. There's so many girlfriends out here. You'll come out of that, don't even worry about it. He cried a little bit, and then he said, okay, Mom, I got it. So a couple days later, he was dead. He killed himself on my birthday.
Yeah, that's
So
rough.
we
Sorry
really,
for
as
your loss.
people, we really need to listen when people are coming to us and stop judging.
Yeah, it's true. I was just
Or
saying
you'll
that.
be at that place. Yeah, or you'll be at that place when you're burying one of your loved ones. I never thought in all the world that I'd be burying one of my kids.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me clear?
I can hear you.
Okay, so this is actually I brought this subject up because I was talking to a young lady today. She's actually white, and she was just talking about things that she dealt with as a kid coming up in school, and she told her parents. I'm gonna repeat that. She told her parents that she was going to hurt herself. Like, she flat out. Anytime, well, let me finish the story. So she hurt herself. So she pretty much, she went on and hurted herself. She tried to kill herself. And she said when the parents went to go see her in the hospital, they was like freaking out, like, what's this? Like, like, what happened? Like, how did this happen and going on? And she yelled at her mom. Well, I'm not going to say that she said she yelled at her mom, but she said she looked at her mom like, I told you that I was going to do this. If you cannot help me. Because it's something that she was dealing with that she could not explain. It wasn't like nobody directly did anything to her, but something could have happened that sparked something. But at that moment, nothing didn't happen. But it was a feeling that she was feeling made her want to kill herself. And she would have been successful, I think, if the school, because she did something in school, if the school wasn't there to pretty much save her. I don't know. She didn't tell me the gist of what she did. So what you said was definitely very important. I hope a lot of people's listening, and I'm sorry for your loss, and I'm glad that you called in, because this is big. Even it's bigger than even somebody taking their own life. It's people that's willing to take someone else's life because of mental things that they're going with, they dealing with.
That's right.
So
absolutely,
I'm so glad, and I'm appreciative that you called, because there's so many different men, definitely young black men, that deal with these things, just dealing with trauma, the way that we was raised, just seeing our moms struggle. Because I'm just speaking for myself now. Just coming up in a household when it's just your mom, coming up in poverty, and when you see in your neighborhoods your friends are being killed, and just robberies, people breaking in homes, and just watching your mom struggle, and you see everybody else doing better than you, and you struggling eating sardines, and you just pretty much just think it's normal. I really appreciate that you called and you shared that story. I mean, I'm glad that I'm able to share it, because for the whole 2 years of my life, I kept saying, I think God is just trying to use me to bring this, because I was so angry with God. So angry. But now I look out and I say, this is something that I need to be sharing. Because I'm watching so many different young kids kill themselves. I'm watching so many different young kids talk about how they go out here going to kill somebody and everything. You're hearing all the links to everything. Right.
So now it's just like, to me, it's like a testimony.
Right.
Right. Like you said, I'm glad you were able to call and share.
27, and yes, he was raised in a single parent home. I did the best I could for my kids. But what I will say is, out of every child I had, they've never been locked up. They've never sold drugs, none of that. Thank God for that.
Yeah,
But this
definitely.
one son was in so much pain and was in so much darkness, and I didn't know it. Because he was the life of the party.
And you know what's crazy? That's what they say. It's always the people that are the most outgoing,
Yeah.
the most, like you said, the
Yeah.
life of the party, and they take on so many other people's pain, and they hold it
They
in for
really
them,
do.
and there's nobody for them to express their pain and have an outlet to. So,
Yeah.
and that's why it catches so many people off guard, because you wouldn't expect somebody
Yeah.
so young, so full of life, to want to take their own life.
Yeah.
It's like, where did that come from?
So he did leave a son. For these 2 years, I hate the baby mama. Because she was the one who he did this because of. But I've learned how to accept her now. Because it wasn't really her fault. It just was that he was in this dark place, loving her so deeply. But I taught my kids, if you get in a relationship with people, you give them your all. And I don't know.
Yeah, that's. I mean, once again, that's unfortunate. I mean,
But I hope this touches somebody that's listening, somebody that's doing there. I hope so. I hope it can touch somebody. I hope
Definitely.
somebody can come forward and just talk to somebody. Go talk to your parent. Go talk to a counselor. Go talk to your boyfriend, girlfriend, other wife, husband. Go talk to somebody.
talk to somebody. Talk about it. I love that message. I mean, a lot of people. My daughter told me a kid said that like they wanted to take their life. I mean, he called me, whatever. I told her mom. I told the principal. I told the counselor.
Right.
I mean, I said you got to do something. Like reach out to. I even told my daughter to call her. Like call her just to.
That's right.
Just to feel what's going on, because like
That's right. You know what? And since this has happened to me, I want to go to different schools and talk about it. Now I can talk about it because before I couldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I used to say to myself, I used to come home from work and see the same guys standing on the corner, and I used to say to God, why are they still here and my son is doing? But you can't think like that. And from me getting counseling and talking, now I know it's a bigger thing out here. My son did this, and I hope he can save some other lives.
Yeah, definitely. Like, remember we was talking on the podcast, is like use other people's experience to try to make better
That's
decisions
right.
for ourselves.
Right.
Like as Brahein said, sorry for your loss, but you could use this as a positive. I hope somebody is listening as well, and everybody share this. Just listen, and if you out there, if you in pain, if you think you by yourself, you're not.
Right.
I don't know what circumstances
Right.
have you thinking
You
that
really
you by
are
yourself.
not.
You're not.
You're not alone. You are not alone. You're not alone.
And a lot of times I get on here and I say all the time that I got all these friends and all these people follow the show, but the crazy thing about it is people rather see me and Raheem punching on each other. We talking about legit things, legit. Now, that story that you just gave, this is unexpected. This is not rehearsed. This is not planned. This is something new. Like when you called them. So people would not be tuned in to things that make sense, and it's our people. All they care is about what is going, like what's trending at the moment. If we not sitting up here talking about fighting each other and just the celebrities don't. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't care, but they not here with our day-to-day life. Let's make each other better.
They're not living our lives.
Right.
They're not living our
And most of them, and what people fail to realize is the social media, and this is another thing. All that stuff is fake. It is 100% fake. I see most of the people that's on social media, they bums when I see them in real life.
Yeah, they're bums.
They dumb. It's the facts. When I see them, like you see them most of the time. They don't have none of this stuff. They take nice, good pictures. They look like they doing something. Most of them don't even have a job. They don't even know where they're gonna get their next dollar from. But when other people sitting up there looking at it, now and the social media eyes, oh yeah, they got, you know, all these followers and all these friends. I always tell, me and Brahein always talk about that. I said, it's not like we sitting here just talking about just nothing. We talk about legit things that go on in our community.
Amen.
So why don't people tune in? Because you know why? We're not sitting here talking foolish. But if we was talking about a woman slept with this man husband and all this other stuff, people be tuned in.
Amen.
See, but that's the thing. People tune into foolishness.
They want to know who's cheating on who. They want to know who's sleeping and creeping with who. They don't care about real life. Now this is real life. I married a 27-year-old beautiful boy. Married him. Never gonna see him again.
Never.
But I bet you it's not that many people on here listening.
I hope more people. I really do, because I can sit here and tell, because like I was just telling my wife, I said that at times I went through like things that like made me depressed, and I said I'm the person that people call on, and I asked her, I said, well, since I'm the person that people call on, who do I go to? And that's where like I tried to develop a relationship with God. You know, and most of the time I don't bring my spiritual life on the show because there's a lot of people that don't flow that way or whatever. I say my little things and I back off, because the way that you choose to live your life is the way you choose your life. I don't force anything on nobody. But if you take a look at my life, you'll see God's hands is all over it. I mean, if I show you, most people that follow me, they can see where I come from. I mean, I can run down my life story and show where I come from. Even just my actual look of my body, my face. I used to have a chipped tooth. I no longer have a chipped tooth. I mean, just like things like that, like just things that I used to do, jobs that I used to have. I could go on and on and on about these things, and most people know me personally. If you see something that you like on a person, why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want what you see on that person? If I see you if I see you come from the struggle, from the bottom, if you, whatever the situation is, why wouldn't I want to ask you, how did you do this? And everybody know me. Well, people that know me, I help anybody. I help absolutely anybody. Anybody. But the thing about it is, you just don't know. I could just talk about so many scenarios and situations. How our people fellas so many times. It's just often. And and it's sad to say this, I lower my expectations, and that's how I get through a lot of the things that I have a problem with. I just lower my expectations. That's sad, but that's what works for me.
Right. But you know, even at work, I have girls at work that come to me. I won't say girls, they grown women. Mm-hmm. They come to me and tell me about their problems, because now I've learned how to sit and listen.
Right.
No judgment on my end. No judgment. Because now all I do is sit and listen to them when they call me. They call me 2 and 3 in the morning and wake me up, and I'm like, okay, You gotta tell me to sit up, because if you don't, I won't understand nothing about still be asleep.
Right.
Right.
But they call me, my girlfriend called me, everybody calls me just to make sure I'm okay, and also they want to talk about whatever's going on in their lives. And now I listen.
Yeah.
Because maybe if somebody had listened to my son, maybe he'd still be here. You know? So now I just listen. I take what I've learned from his death and what I've learned from a lot of other deaths, and I just put towards someone else.
Yeah, and that's what we need to do in our community. We need to listen and we need to build each other up. It needs to be an open relationship with everybody in the community. Remember the saying, it takes a village to raise a child?
Yeah.
I don't think it stops at childhood.
Right.
I don't think it stops at childhood. I
And
think
you know
even
what?
after that,
Another
we
thing.
all need to uplift each other. Sorry to cut you off.
Even when we grew up, I'm 51 years old. My mother used to say, what goes on in this house stays in this house. I no longer believe that.
Oh, that's facts. That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't believe that. There's no such thing as whatever goes on in these houses stay in these houses.
Right.
That's why a lot of kids are killing themselves, and that's why a lot of kids are getting killed, because they can't tell anything that has happened inside their home. So I need people to speak out, whatever's going on. The tedious little thing is a big thing.
Right. That's what I always say. Let's learn how to solve the smaller problem. So if a big problem occurs,
Before they become big. That's right.
there you go. Well,
Absolutely. So I'm gonna let you guys go, because I know I done burnt y'all ears out.
I'm
We want you to call in more often.
yeah, I'm glad that you called. I want to see if anybody else gonna call. I really appreciate you. You keep your head up and keep pushing that work.
Oh, you know what? I've been good. Thank God, I've been good. The first year, I couldn't celebrate my birthday. The second year was a little wishy. But this year, I'm celebrating my birthday.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, you deserve that.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for talking.
So
Thanks
you
for
guys
calling
take
in.
care.
All right.
Love you guys.
Love
You're
you.
doing
Love
a
you
magnificent job.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that, man.
Definitely, we really do.
You take care of yourselves.
All right, you do the same.
And people out there, call into these guys, call them. If you're in a dark place, call them. Take that number down, call them.
Definitely. All right, enjoy the rest of your night.
Guys, good night.
All right.
Good night. That was huge. Let's see what's on Facebook. I mean,
First,
oh my God.
talk about it. You text me. I seen the text. I was.
He didn't respond.
Oh man,
He didn't respond.
I was half asleep. I do something new. I was like, all right, he'll tell me, and I just went back to sleep.